Hi everyone, this is Mindy Eggen and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you an easy way to apply color with intricate stencils, and that is using the Distress Spray Stains. This is also a great way to get two cards from one. The stencil that I'm going to be using today is the Peonies and Leaves stencil from Simon Says Stamp. It is a very large but gorgeous intricate stencil. And my first thought was, what is the easiest way to apply ink? So the first thing I did off screen was spray the back of it with some pixie spray, which is a low tack adhesive, and then just let that sit for a minute or two. Then in a box, I have a piece of Neenah Solar White cardstock that is 80 pound, cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I just placed the stencil lightly on top. I didn't even press down. Then I'm coming in and I am spraying over the top of this with my Distress Spray Stains. I started with Shaded Lilac, Spun Sugar, Squeezed Lemonade, and then Tumble Glass. Now, as I was looking at this, that pink was a little bit too light, so I came in with KITSCH Flamingo. So after I sprayed this, you can see there's a lot of excess ink on the top of that stencil. So I have another piece of white cardstock off on the side. I picked up my stencil, flipped it over, and placed it on top of that cardstock. Then I have a paper towel I just placed over the top and pushed it down to get that excess ink. So there was my first background, and here is that second card I can create by using that stencil with all of the excess ink on top. So great way to get 2 for 1 out of this. So I'm going to repeat those same steps, except this time I'm going kind of around my cardstock instead of top to bottom, using those same colors. And I forgot I didn't want to use spun sugar. I wanted to use that KITSCH Flamingo. So I will come back in. Now, one thing to keep in mind with spray stains or any type of spray is the closer you get to your cardstock, the more of a bullseye you're going to get. The further away you're holding your bottle, the more of a spray effect you'll get, which is great for combining those colors or kind of letting them drift into the next color. Then I'm just picking that stencil up again, placing it over the top of my cardstock, and I'll put that paper towel over it again. I hold it there for maybe about 20 seconds. Now this one didn't have as much ink on it, so I didn't get quite as good of an impression, and I didn't complete a card with it today, but I did save this because it is a great background to use where I could cut it down. Now I'll give you a look at all the backgrounds that I created in just a matter of minutes. This really did not take long. I also want to point out that I did not use watercolor paper for this, and I think it turned out really cool because up close, this has a very textured kind of look to it because this cardstock doesn't absorb the water quite as good as the watercolor cardstock. So it's just a different look, and it's just a really neat technique. To finish most of the cards off, I have a card base here that is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's already folded. I have a piece of low tack tape in the inside to hold it shut, and I place it in my MISTI. And now all of my backgrounds, I trimmed down and layered cardstock behind it to just give it a little bit of dimension. And I added some tape runner behind it, and then placing that over my card base. I love using my MISTI like I've shown before because it's just a great way for me to really get a good look at everything and make sure my margins are even. I did that for all 3 of the cards that I'm completing today, and then I'm just finishing them off with sentiments. So this first one is the Oh Crap word die from Kathy Zilski. So I have the reverse sentiment strips as well. I have quite a variety, and they're mainly all stuffed in one pack, so I'm not completely sure which ones I used, but they're all fabulous. I buy almost every one of them when they come out. So I cut those sentiments down, those reverse strips, with the sentiment labels die, and then I'm adding them to the front of the card with black foam strips. This one here was the Big Friend die. And most of them I have die cut the friend from black cardstock or the word from black cardstock 2 or 3 times and layered together just to add that dimension. This is the big thanks, and I did use the shadow die for this one to help it stand off of the background just a little bit. And I thought a unique look to this would be to kind of have it slanted across the card. And then off screen, I did add a few pearls around my sentiments that are from Trinity Stamps. I will have all of the supplies I use listed down in the video description below and also on my blog. I hope this gives you some ideas and inspiration on how to use those intricate stencils if you struggle with ink blending with them. The distress spray stains are just a really quick way to go and produce beautiful color. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're not already a subscriber, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel and be sure to hit the notification bell so you're notified when new videos are posted.